everyone, this is Riccardo Massini and this is Vlog. And in this vlog we speak of A Wing and a Prayer Bomb in the Reich. Game by Lock and Load, and yes, of course, I am watching the Masters of the Air TV series. I love it, really. I can say just that I was just riveted to the story, and it gave me so much that it prompted me to, the story encouraged me to take out and play this game, this particular game about strategic bombing. Why? Because the scale of the game is just the same of the TV series. This is not B-17 Queen of the Skies. This is not Target for Today. They have a scale in which you essentially are at the lead of a single bomber, and they are more similar to the old movie that I like as well, Memphis Belle. The scale of A Wing and a Prayer is that of a single formation of bombers, so 3, 6, 9 or 12 bombers at the maximum, just like the series. And I find that this is the most narrative, the most effective in terms of storytelling, the most effective scale to use, most effective size to tell the stories of those crews, of those boys, on their campaigns, on their missions, mission after mission, and so many characters, and so many stories and tragedies as well. There is another scale, that is the one in which you control an entire wing, that is B-17 leader, but that is for me a bit too much. This is really the sweet point. And this is the sweet point as a game as well in terms of complexity. Because this is a very simple game, very procedural game, so many die rolls, but in very clear and very simple tables, very simple modifiers. Everything is on the player aid, so it is very easy to follow along, follow the story as it unfolds, moment after moment after moment, and so you are focused more on the narration of the storytelling rather than on game management. So that, as usual, I won't get into too much details because there are so many good, wonderful playthroughs of this game on YouTube, because of course this is a highly narrative game, and so it is quite easy to make a detailed playthrough. And so my conclusions are about the game as such. And for example, to start, I have to say this game has a great strong point, that is of being a highly narrative game, is also its greatest critical issue, because this is a narrative game. It's a solitaire game. Yes, there is two players mode, but I never tried it. I don't know it. I know if it's good or bad. I want to focus just on the solitaire experience. And by being a mostly narrative game, this means that there are not many decision points all along during the gaming session. When you take a decision, that decision has dramatic impact. So when you decide if you are bombing at high altitude or low altitude, this changes the entire world, but it's just this single decision, and then you get once again the die roll after die roll after die roll. How much of my escort should I engage against the interceptors? Okay, 3 or 4 or 5 plays, yes, but after that it is just die roll after die roll after die roll, etc. So this means that you have to really get immersed in the narration. You have to follow along this game. That is a great storytelling generation. It is a great story generator. It's a great narrative generator. But there is not so much decision space. This is a problem of a feature, not a problem, but a feature of all those games, as like the Hunters or B-17 Queen of the Skies or all along. And this is very strong here. So be advised, okay? But the fact is that by having such almost automatic procedures that are really easy to follow along, you just give a cursory read to the rulebook, and then you go on and you go with the mission. You just follow the player rates. This means that you are focused on the storytelling. You have virtually zero game management issues, because every sheet tells you what to do, what to find, how many dice to roll, all the modifiers. You just have to find the right table or the right track and so on. But after that, you just focus on the story, on what's happening. Second, this is a feature of the game. The second issue of the game is more of a functional type of issue. This is version 2.4. What does it mean? Is that the printed material is that you will get, there have been no second or third, probably a second printing, but no reprinting of everything. Everything you will find at version 2.0 or 2.1. Now the good version is version 2.4. Where do you find version 2.4? On the local.load website. I can give you a link. I will put the link into the description, no problem. You just have to print everything. As someone said, this is the most expensive, most engaging print and play game ever made. You just have to print everything. Once you have printed everything is the manual and all the player rates. There's a bit of stuff, but not so much. You are fine. This is a perfectly fine game, and you can play it, and it is perfectly balanced. It goes very well. But keep in mind that you have to do that. Many people don't like this. Okay, for me, it is not a problem, but many people could be put out by this. After all those two problems, why do I like so much this game? I like this type of games in general because they give me a story, and the greatest reason for which I play historical games is that I want to see stories set in historical environment with good historical representation. This game has it, but high narrative potential, and this game has it in spades, and really engages you. It really works. No doubts about this. The problem is that with such easy procedures, such streamlined, such essential procedures, there is a bit of randomness, so this can be a problem because you don't have much decision space. But the historical situation was just like that, because these were missions where you were going from point A to point B. You had to bomb point B and get back to point A. That is your base. And in the mid time of it, there was hell on the air. You just tried to survive. You just tried to do your best to survive. And so this is historical accurate. But as a game experience, some people might find that experience limited. Sometimes, if you hear hiss or surfing, it is my new cat, Babette, my new kitten. It's just come after the loss of our dear Faramir, and so don't worry, it's all fine. It's just some usual feline problems. Okay, so rationally, as we said, this can be a problem, this randomness, but it has its reasons. But emotionally, this means that not being focused on game procedures, you are focused on the narration, and you have a good visualization of the situation. But you must follow along this game for everything it does. After that, it is a great experience, great duration, very manageable. So it is very easy to play this, also to manage this game. A game that will give you a very high tension, very high emotion, and as a paradox, maybe it's being so procedural, so sometimes also repetitive. This highlights the single variation that will change everything, absolutely everything for you. Also, it is a game that has a good historical representation. Also, the historical campaigns, they evolve. You have short campaigns, you have long campaigns, you have many options, many optional rules, so it is very good at this. And at the end, there is one last reason I wanted to play this game, because, well, this is a very personal reason, I have to say. You have to understand that here in Italy and many other, but I'm sure also in England, strategic bombing is still a very theme, a very controversial theme. Also what we see now in the modern wars and the strategic bombing of civilian targets, or targets that are set in civilian areas with so much collateral damage, it is a point of contention even today. For me personally, it is very hard because my family comes from Monte Cassino, and you may easily understand what this means. And essentially, I am alive because they had the good fortune of getting away from Monte Cassino just a couple of days before the great bombing that destroyed, yes, the Abbey, but also all the old town of Cassino. And so strategic bombing has always been a controversial thing for me. And so, yes, there is a bit of a moral dilemma. Okay, this is just a game, but do we really want to play games about the strategic bombing of targets with high civilian collateral damage? This is not an easy question to answer. And yes, this is, well, I needed series like Masters of the Air to see the history from the other point of view, from the point of view of the crews, or the guys or the boys that were on those planes that faced mission after mission after mission with all their friends getting blown off the sky, and also the fear of the German interception, and also the idea that they were doing a good mission, that they were liberating Europe, and that they came back in England and that was bombed as well by the Germans. So, the end, I needed those series, those movies, also the historical books to read, but also needed games like this to see history from another point of view. And I think that this is very important. And highly narrative, especially highly narrative games such as these, that keep you focused on the story, really, really, really matter and are really, really important. So this is, for me, also an important game to play. It's very easy, very engaging, very manageable. So I encourage you to give it a try. Don't be scared by the fact that you have to print essentially all the manuals and sheets, etc. It's not so many pages to get it to the last version, that is 2.4, that is very good. I really recommend this game. And especially if you love Masters of the Air, you have your own TV series with this game. You will have your characters, your stories, and it will be fantastic and it will be amazing. But it is also important for its historical value, but also important for its moral value. As I always say, gaming is about engagement, emotional engagement, rational knowledge of the history, so historical detail, but also historical awareness. To be aware of what happened, why it happened, what the people involved in the events felt, how they felt, to be really to live history in their own shoes, in their own place. This is a game that manages to do that, and I really recommend this game. So this is A Wing of and a Prayer, Boundary Reich. Thank you for having me here. Take care as always, and especially this time, don't be scared. It's just war games. Ciao.